Have you ever wondered if the world you see is the real world? Or if there's something more, something deeper, just beyond your grasp? This isn't the plot of a sci-fi movie. It's a question a philosopher named Plato asked over 2,000 years ago. He came up with a powerful story to explore this idea. A story that's still changing how people think today. It's called the Allegory of the Cave. Imagine a group of people who have lived their entire lives chained inside a dark cave. They are all facing a blank wall. Behind them, there's a fire. And between the fire and the prisoners, there's a raised walkway where people are carrying puppets and various objects. These objects cast shadows on the wall in front of the prisoners. For these prisoners, the shadows are their entire reality. They don't know anything else exists. They give names to the shadows. They talk about them. They even have games and honors for whoever is best at identifying which shadow will come next. Their world is literally a flat, flickering show of silhouettes. Now, what if one of these prisoners was suddenly freed? His chains are broken, and he's forced to stand up and turn around. The firelight would be blinding. It would hurt his eyes. He would see the puppets for the first time and be completely confused. He'd probably think the shadows he knew his whole life were more real than these strange objects. The person who freed him would have to drag him, kicking and screaming, out of the cave and into the outside world. When he first steps outside, the sunlight is even more painful than the firelight. He can't see anything. He's totally overwhelmed. Slowly, his eyes would begin to adjust. First, he would see the shadows of things, then reflections in the water. After a while, he'd be able to look at the objects themselves, the trees, the flowers, the animals. He'd be able to see people. And finally, after his eyes had fully adapted, he would be able to look up at the sky and see the source of all light, the sun itself. At this moment, he would have a profound realization. Everything he thought was real inside the cave was just a poor imitation. The shadows were just copies of copies. The real world, the world of truth and understanding, was outside all along, illuminated by the sun. He would understand that the sun is what gives life, what allows things to grow, and what makes sight possible. He would feel immense pity for his friends still trapped in the cave, who were still arguing about meaningless shadows. So, what does he do next? He could stay outside and enjoy this beautiful new reality. While Plato says he has a duty, he must go back into the cave. He has to return to the darkness, to try and free the others. But think about what happens when he goes back. His eyes, now used to the bright sunlight, would struggle to see in the dim cave. He'd be clumsy. He wouldn't be able to distinguish the shadows on the wall as well as the other prisoners. When he tries to tell them about the world outside, what do you think they would say? They'd think he's gone crazy. They would laugh at him. He'd tell them their reality is a lie, that the shadows aren't real, and that there's a vast, beautiful world of light and truth waiting for them. But they wouldn't believe him. In fact, they would see his inability to perceive the shadows clearly as proof that leaving the cave has ruined him. They would see him as a threat to their entire way of life. Plato even suggests that if he tried to free them and drag them out, they would become so hostile that they might even try to kill him. It's a powerful and somewhat tragic story, isn't it? But it's not just a story. It's an allegory, which means every part of it symbolizes something much deeper about our own lives and our society. So let's break down what Plato was really trying to tell us. First, and most importantly, this is about the difference between appearance and reality. The cave represents our everyday world, the world we perceive with our senses. The shadows on the wall are the things we see, hear, and touch every day. We might think of them as the ultimate reality. For example, we might chase after things like fame, wealth, or the latest trends, believing these are the most important things in life. According to Plato, these are just shadows flickering, temporary illusions that distract us from what's truly real and valuable. The real world outside the cave represents the world of ideas, or what Plato called the forms. These are the perfect, eternal, and unchanging concepts of things like justice, beauty, and goodness. You can't see them with your eyes, but you can grasp them with your mind, through reason and philosophy. The sun, which illuminates everything, represents the ultimate form, the form of the good. This is the source of all truth and knowledge. The second key takeaway is about the process of education. The journey out of the cave is not easy. It's painful and disorienting. This symbolizes the struggle of genuine learning. True education isn't just about memorizing facts, the names of the shadows. It's a process of turning your entire soul away from the world of appearances and towards the light of truth. It requires questioning everything you thought you knew. It means challenging your own comfortable beliefs, which can be a very uncomfortable experience. It's a difficult ascent from ignorance to enlightenment, and it's a journey we have to be willing to take if we want to find real understanding. Third, the allegory is a metaphor for the human soul. Plato believed our souls are trapped in our physical bodies, much like the prisoners are chained in the cave. Our senses tie us to this physical, shadowy world. Philosophy and the pursuit of knowledge are the keys that can unlock our chains. By using our intellect and reason, we can liberate our souls from the ignorance of the cave and ascend to a higher state of being, one that is connected to the eternal world of the forms. The freed prisoner represents the philosopher, the lover of wisdom. And this brings us to the final, crucial point: the role of the philosopher in society. Why does the freed prisoner have to go back? Why not just stay in the sun and enjoy his newfound wisdom? Plato believed that true knowledge comes with a responsibility. The philosopher, having seen the truth, has a moral duty to return to the cave and help others. They must try to guide their fellow citizens out of the darkness, even if it's a thankless and dangerous task. This part of the allegory is often seen as a reflection on Plato's own teacher, Socrates. Socrates spent his life questioning the people of Athens, trying to make them examine their own beliefs and seek a deeper understanding of virtue and justice. And how did they thank him? They accused him of corrupting the youth and sentenced him to death. The prisoners in the cave who want to kill the person trying to free them are a direct parallel to the fate of Socrates. The enlightened individual will often be misunderstood, rejected, and even attacked by the very people they are trying to help, because people often cling desperately to their comfortable illusions. So, how does this ancient story apply to us today? In the 21st century, our modern cave might look a bit different. Maybe it's the endless scroll of social media, where curated images and opinions create a distorted version of reality. Maybe it's the echo chambers of news and information that confirm our biases and prevent us from seeing different perspectives. Or maybe it's the consumer culture that tells us happiness can be bought, that our value is determined by the things we own. The allegory challenges us to ask, what are the shadows on my wall? What are the common beliefs or assumptions that I've accepted without question? It encourages us to be the person who dares to turn around, to question the shadows, and to begin that difficult climb toward the light. It reminds us that education is a lifelong journey of discovery, not just a phase of life. And most importantly, it teaches us that when we do find a little bit of light, a little bit of truth, we have a responsibility to share it, to engage in difficult conversations, and to help illuminate the path for others, no matter how hard it might be. The allegory of the cave isn't just a philosophical thought experiment. It's a call to action. It's an invitation to break free from our own self-imposed chains and to seek a more authentic, meaningful, and enlightened life. Thank you so much for watching. If this story made you think, let us know in the comments what you consider to be the shadows in our modern world. And do you want to forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the ideas that have shaped our world. See you next time.